I've run the only convenience store in town for 3 years, but I haven't seen a single customer. Everyone says my store has bad feng shui. I was planning to close it down for good. But just then, a handsome man in ancient clothing walked in. I didn't feel the joy of welcoming a customer. Instead, I grew nervous and afraid. Are you a human or a ghost? The man didn't answer my question. Instead, he asked tentatively, do you have anything filling to eat here? The rows of instant noodles, snacks, and bread, aren't those food? But seeing how tall and large he was, he probably wouldn't feel full with those. I had an idea, so I took out 2 boxes of unsold compressed biscuits. This military ration is the most filling. Just one piece can last a whole meal. Such a small package. Can it really last 2 meals? He kept turning the wrapper over, but he couldn't open it. He must really be a ghost, since he doesn't even recognize compressed biscuits. I patiently demonstrated how to open it and handed it to him. 2 pieces will definitely last you a meal. It's actually quite fragrant. Sweet, salty, and crispy. It's quite delicious. Here, a drink for you. Marcus took the transparent object, something he had never seen before. After hesitating for a moment, he bit the cap off directly with his teeth. I was shocked by this move. He really is an idiot. It's a shame, though, because he has such a good face and body. I demonstrated how to twist the cap open for him. I nodded in relief only after seeing him learn how. Marcus took a drink. There was no strange aftertaste. He then quickly ate the compressed biscuits and finished the water. Ugh, I'm full. I'm stuffed. Seeing Marcus's gaze fall upon the remaining 2 boxes of compressed biscuits. 15 yuan, I said, blocking the boxes. Marcus nodded. How much for these 2 boxes? There are 40 packs in 2 boxes. 400 yuan in total will do. Compressed biscuits. I'll come back next time for more compressed biscuits. After saying compressed biscuits repeatedly, Marcus picked up the 2 boxes and turned to leave. I looked at the fake silver ingot in front of me. After hesitating for a second, I immediately chased after him. But the man vanished after walking into a dead end. Where did he go? Could he really be a ghost? Afterward, I closed the shop. I took the silver ingot to the pawn shop. It turned out the silver ingot was actually real. The shop owner, Silas, immediately offered 7,000 yuan. The cost of the 2 boxes of compressed biscuits was only 250. That's a direct profit of over 6,000 yuan. This is pure profit. I remembered that handsome guy saying he'd come again. I immediately ordered 20 boxes of compressed biscuits and several boxes of water. Meanwhile, Marcus returned to the city on the edge of the desert, carrying the biscuits. Dr. Zhu was stunned when he saw the compressed biscuits. Test it. Is this stuff poisonous? Dr. Zhu was confused, but he did as instructed. After smelling and tasting it, he spoke in surprise. I pointed to the newly delivered goods. Since the army reached the outskirts of Yong Province City, sandstorms have been constant, and we lack water and food. The subsequent supplies haven't kept up. Since Yong Province City cannot be taken yet, the army is in a difficult position. Marcus immediately gave the order. Spread the word. Tell every unit to collect silver. General, besides, this place has been destroyed. The people have all fled. Where can we find any merchants? When something is unusual, it's suspicious. General, please be cautious. Then do you have any other way to get food and water? Everyone fell silent. In their current predicament, they could only take a gamble. Marcus entered the alley with 30 fully armed men. But in the end, only he came back. The soldiers stood among the ruins, looking at each other in confusion. Where are the shops and merchants we were promised? Wait, where's their general? The soldiers panicked and were about to move. Then they saw Marcus walking out of that door again, looking dazed. Why aren't you going in? General, we went in. General, we did go in. There is only ruins inside. There is no you. Marcus led the group to try several more times, but the result was always the same. He vaguely realized his true identity, that perhaps only he could see it. Marcus entered once more. He placed the silver and copper coins on the counter. This much. How much of that biscuit and water from last time can I buy? I looked at the scattered broken silver, ingots, and coins on the counter. My eyes were drawn to 2 specific silver ingots. These 2 ingots were much larger than the last ones. I swallowed hard. Trying to stay calm, I pointed to the 20 boxes of compressed biscuits and water that had just arrived in the corner. Take all of this. This is all I have for now. Can you prepare more next time? No problem. Then I gave him a few packs of instant noodles and some luncheon meat cans. After thinking for a moment, I also gave him a bottle of erguo too. Marcus had to make several trips to move everything out through the back door. Once he left, I immediately went to the pawn shop. Is the young master here? Sit down. I waved him off and opened the bag to take out the silver ingots. After the boss carefully inspected them, he spoke excitedly. Both of these are tin-tail silver ingots. I quickly pulled the silver ingots back. I tossed out 3 copper coins. Please take a look at these 3 coins instead. The boss frowned as he looked at the coins. Strange. I have never seen this pattern on these 3 coins before. Yet, the surface of these 3 coins was very bright. These 3 coins. I'll take a photo and show them to my professor. If I find anything out, I'll get back to you. I nodded. Left the pawn shop with 20,000 yuan. I returned home. I made a net profit of over 20,000 yuan today, and that's not even counting the leftover silver and copper coins. Tomorrow, I need to stock up on more compressed biscuits. Early the next morning, just as I finished receiving my goods, Marcus walked in. When Marcus saw the stacks of compressed biscuits and bottled water by the door, he stared at me intently. Everything is ready. Marcus was in no hurry to pay. Instead, he took a stroll around the room. Your food supplies. Which one is the most filling? This one. It's easy to carry and keeps you full. How many more of these can you prepare? As many as you want. Marcus showed a suspicious expression. This ghost really dares to brag. Is this what they call ghostly lies? Do ghosts eat dry rations too? Marcus seemed to have expected that I wouldn't believe him. He held up a cloth bag. Here is 100 taels of gold as a deposit. I will give you another 200 taels of gold. I excitedly reached out to take it. Our hands accidentally touched. That rough, warm sensation was not a ghost. I couldn't help but speak, my face full of shock. Do you think I'm not human? My back door is a dead end. Marcus saw the look of shock in my eyes. Everyone fell silent. After some conversation, I was stunned. You say you are a general from Great Liang? And you are currently outside Yong Province City? Your 10,000 soldiers have run out of supplies. And then, by a twist of fate, you discovered this door. To buy enough food and water. For your soldiers? Seeing that I had finished my questions, Marcus began to speak. Can you all eat well and stay warm every day? I kept nodding like a little chick. After a series of questions, all Marcus could feel was envy. You all are so lucky. But then, Marcus began to look me up and down. If you can afford clothes, why are you wearing so little? I realized I had said something wrong. Seeing his sincere apology, I decided to forgive him. When Marcus left, he took the compressed biscuits and mineral water we bought today, and left behind 50 silver ingots. I opened the cloth bag first. Inside were 10 plain gold ingots. I took 2 gold ingots, put them in my bag, and headed to the pawn shop. Buying 5,000 boxes of compressed biscuits and water would cost at least 800,000. With my current funds, I had to sell gold ingots first. When Gu Yanzhou saw me enter, his eyes lit up for a moment. I looked at the old man who had appeared in the shop and didn't say anything. Noticing my wariness, Gu Yanzhou introduced him. Professor Yan, a doctoral supervisor specializing in cultural relic appraisal. My guard dropped significantly. I took out a clump of toilet paper and placed it on the coffee table. Professor Yan carefully opened the clump of paper. When a bright, golden gold ingot appeared before them, both of them stared in shock. Gold ingots are different from silver ingots. Ordinary people don't use gold for transactions, and they rarely circulate in the market. I nodded. This gold ingot. Is it 800,000? I have 2. Professor Yin and Dante were instantly tense. As soon as I left the pawn shop, I called the wholesaler to order supplies. The next day, Marcus arrived on time. His eyes lit up when he saw the small flatbed trolley full of goods. Marcus handed me a leather bag. I opened the bag to take a look. 20 gold ingots. A whole bag was filled to the brim. Filling a whole bag like that. Are you hauling cargo? Marcus pulled a trailer of goods out through the back door. The soldiers waiting outside immediately began unloading them onto the carriages. Have Marcus take the empty truck back. Marcus was somewhat excited. Thousands of crates of supplies would be enough to start a fight. Perhaps, we could directly take down Yong Province City. Boss, do you have any medicine for treating external injuries? And any strong liquor for cleaning wounds? Are you afraid there won't be any medicine left if you get injured in battle? Iron pills. This is all for now. If it's not enough. Marcus handed over another bag. Inside were 20 10-tael silver ingots and 10 10-tael gold ingots. After seeing that, I agreed. Hey boss, I need 300 caddies of double distilled liquor. Deliver it to the convenience store as soon as possible. I placed the order directly with a nearby brewery owner. Before long, the 300 caddies of double distilled liquor arrived at my convenience store. I also ordered hemostatic powder and aerosols via delivery, as well as stitchless wound adhesive and various anti-inflammatory and fever-reducing medicines. After buying all the stitchless wound adhesives and other supplies, I took a quick look. It came to about 60,000. It should be enough for now. When night fell, Marcus stepped into my convenience store again. However, there was a heavy scent of blood on him. His armor was stained with dark red bloodstains. His face looked as if it had been intentionally wiped clean, but his hair was a mess. My heart sank. Has the fighting started? Plus, this is the medicine I bought for you. Plus, it might be different from the medicine you usually use. Can you read the characters on this? I figured you couldn't. I can't write your language either. Can you write the instructions yourself and paste them on so you can use it when you take it back? Thanks. I took out a large pack of labels. I simply read out the instructions and the corresponding symptoms. Marcus finished writing a note for each pill. Then he pasted them onto separate plastic bags. He finished them very quickly. Here is the strong liquor you asked for. You don't need to. You can take it all if it works well. No problem. You just need to use it according to the instructions. It will definitely work. Goods worth 60,000 yuan. At one gold ingot for 800,000. That's 8 million. I'm going to be rich. This is incredible. Bye. Here's a real threat no one talks about. People are getting locked out of their own Gmail, their own Discord, their entire Steam library. And the kicker is, two-factor doesn't save them. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Sorry to say, the way this works now has changed. Hackers don't steal your password anymore. They steal the cookie that keeps you logged in. Someone opens your Gmail from another country and two-factor never triggers because the session is already approved. You are still scrolling like normal, while someone else is changing your recovery email. The malware that does this gets pushed through sites you would never suspect. Fake game cracks, hijacked browser extensions, even legitimate-looking apps. 2.6 million Chrome users got hit overnight last year from one extension they had trusted for years. This is why I run NordVPN. The threat protection works like a passive skill. Auto-blocks those sites before you can land on them, before you even know the threat existed. What I really keep it on for is the ad blocker. Tracker ads, autoplay videos, the stuff that slows pages down, all gone. The internet just feels lighter. A few dollars a month. First link in description gets you an even better discount, plus 30 days money back. Zero risk. First link in description. Okay, back to it. That night, I fell asleep dreaming of wealth. Little did I know, Marcus was leading his soldiers in a night raid on Yong Province City. Tonight, Marcus was almost barred from leading his troops to the battlefield. All because the medicine he brought back today was too effective. Many soldiers from the first wave of the daytime charge were injured. After hearing Marcus's introduction, Dr. Zhu washed his hands thoroughly, put on those soft, sterile gloves, and began cleaning everyone's wounds. For shallow wounds, he wiped them with strong liquor using a swab, then applied the spray. After taking the pills Marcus brought back, they didn't even develop a fever, and the wounds even began to scab over. The wound even scabbed over. Marshal Luo Zhonghai was also injured today. A cut about the length of a finger opened on his arm. Dr. Zhu wiped the wound with strong liquor and applied the spray. Then he used the stitchless wound adhesive. He went back into battle. He went back into the fray, but when he returned, he found that the wound had not only failed to reopen as usual, but had actually closed. This is a great way to recruit non-combatants. Dr. Zhu and Luo Zhonghai were shocked. Is this medicine really this powerful? In the past, after a single battle, at least hundreds of wounded soldiers could no longer return to the battlefield. But today, after treating the wounds this way, aside from those with heavy injuries who need rest, soldiers with light injuries using the stitchless wound adhesive can return to battle without any problems. You must realize that many soldiers are not killed on the battlefield, but die from infections after their wounds fail to heal. Because of this, Luo Zhonghai specifically sought out Marcus to discuss. Marcus, the wounded soldiers need medicine. Can you go back to that shop to buy more? If something happens to you, there will be no more chances to buy medicine. Marcus thought for a moment, then chose to wear an extra layer of leather armor. Does that reassure you? Marcus still went to the battlefield. Because of this miraculous medicine, the soldiers' morale was invisibly strengthened. Everyone knew that minor injuries were no big deal. This made everyone charge even more bravely. So, everyone fought with even greater ferocity. When Yong Province City fell, the garrison commanders couldn't understand it. Hadn't they been short on food and water for days? Why were they so brave? Were they not afraid of death? As the city fell, Marcus commanded in a heavy voice. The wealthy households in the city may be looted, but you are not allowed to kill the civilians, and you are not allowed to violate the women. Execution for those who disobey orders. The crowd rejoiced, rushing toward the wealthy estates within the city. Marcus watched the swarming soldiers with cold indifference in his eyes. The soldiers, who had been starving outside the city for days, needed to vent their rage. Marcus returned to Shima town. The number of wounded this time. The more, the better. Also, regarding these external wounds and illnesses. This and this. Order the gold and silver ingots seized from the wealthy houses to be sent here. Also, bring the hairpins, jewelry, and fabrics. That young female shop owner. Perhaps she would like some jewelry? If I want to buy the most precious medicines from her, I should show some goodwill. Can you try to buy as much as possible? Is this not enough? This is enough for today. I will arrange it right away. I had finished washing up early this morning. Just as I opened the convenience store, Marcus pushed the door open. We both froze when we saw each other. The man seemed to have specially changed into clean clothes, wearing a neat, crimson robe, and a white jade crown on his head. He looked very energetic. Did you win the battle? Marcus's face flushed slightly. He noticed this woman seemed to have some feelings for him. In order to achieve my goal today, I went through the trouble of changing my clothes several times. In the past, he would never have deigned to do such a thing. Marcus composed himself, gathering his courage to push the box toward me. Sound effect, /action. Marcus placed the box on the counter and opened it. Inside was a box overflowing with jewelry and ornaments. I carefully took them out one by one. There were hairpins, earrings, collars, rings, and bracelets, all inlaid with gemstones. It was clear they were handcrafted by ancient master craftsmen. I felt a heavy weight in my heart. Such a box full of jewelry. These are purely for you. I also prepared 7 gold and silver ingots. Marcus pulled a list from his sleeve and read it to me. I felt a bit overwhelmed after hearing it. We have some medicine here. Beef noodles. I couldn't help but laugh when I saw it. How could ancient people resist such temptation? If you like them, I can send 2 more boxes. This is a large-sized pack of instant noodles, Fingladio noodles. Marcus handed over a tin-tail silver ingot. I don't have enough stock for 20 boxes. I'll arrange to get more for you later. Take 2 boxes of beef noodles for now. Consider them a gift. Marcus didn't stand on ceremony regarding the beef noodles. He grabbed 2 boxes of instant noodles to leave. As he was leaving with the 2 boxes of beef noodles, I gave him 2 large packs of starch sausages. Once you tear open the outer packaging, put the sausages in the noodles. They taste great together. Marcus nodded while looking at the starch sausages. The strong liquor you sent last time. The soldiers said it tasted very good. But Dr. Zhu wants to save that liquor to clean the soldiers' wounds and won't let them drink it. The soldiers won the battle and want a drink to celebrate. Could you sell more liquor to me? Did you bring instant noodles back again? What is this? The shopkeeper said this is a starch sausage. You can eat it directly after peeling the skin. Is it good? Oh, wait. Let me check if it's poisonous first. Dr. Zhu said, as he proactively took the instant noodles and starch sausage. He picked up the utensils, ready to test for poison. Tears of envy welled up in the corners of my eyes. I really envy Dr. Zhu being able to test for poison. Watching Marcus leave, I stood there dazed for a few seconds. For the first time in 28 years, a man had given me gold and gemstone jewelry. With this much motivation, I had to make this business a success. I went straight to the pharmacy. I found the owner, Fu Dachuan. He would be good friends with my parents. Uncle Fu, if you were a naughty girl, you certainly wouldn't be running to me like this. Because the quantity is quite large, I was asked to come and ask you, what should be done in this situation? How much? I pulled out the list and handed it over. After Fu Dachuan saw the writing clearly, his eyes suddenly widened. Fu Dachuan looked at the list seriously once more. The list was full of common medicines. After much thought, Fu Dachuan finally nodded. I can get these medicines for you, but it will take at least 3 days. Does that work? I'll go check right now to see how much stock is left. The current stock is all here. Take this for now. I'll deliver the rest to your convenience store in 3 days. Thanks, Uncle Fu. Once the 3 boxes of medicine were moved to the convenience store, I went to the 7 brewery to order 2,000 caddies of strong liquor. After everything was ready, I pulled out a lounge chair and sat by the door. My life as a shopkeeper had begun. After a while, Marcus walked in, carrying a box of gold ingots. I looked up. Let's settle the payment first. No problem. We'll do it exactly as you said. Beef noodles, beef noodles, beef noodles. This time, the house seizure yielded hundreds of thousands of taels of silver and thousands of taels of gold. This is enough to buy things here many times over. Sudix. I didn't expect this liquor to be so strong. If I drink too much, it'll be hard to get things done. Liquor. You guys move the supplies out first. The soldiers had long heard that in that mysterious shop, the owner was a woman. They immediately began to jeer. No wonder the general looks so dashing today. A group of rogue soldiers laughed and ran off, carrying their wine barrels. Marcus shook his head with a smile. Then, he turned back and entered my convenience store. Marcus handed me a bag of gold ingots. I opened it to take a look. Another 30 gold ingots. That's over 20 million. These medicines will take another 3 days to prepare. Marcus suddenly felt a sense of melancholy. He couldn't help but explain proactively. These medicines aren't for immediate use, but are for future preparation. Note, text, Chen Changman 19 seems like a system error/add text in the source. You only need to silently think of the omnipotent convenience store, and you will see the door to the omnipotent convenience store. Marcus stared at me in shock. Really? Marcus immediately went out to try it. He really could enter. I was happy too. I could continue to make a fortune in the future. In my excitement, I handed him a bottle of milk tea. I'll treat you to a free spinning wheel. Marcus took it, unscrewed the cap, and took a sip. His eyes suddenly widened. And even this snack. You should try some too. Delicious. This is jerky, right? We've tried making jerky before, too. Is this jerky? We've tried making jerky before, but it didn't taste as good as this. Plus, it spoils easily in the heat. This won't go bad. It's vacuum sealed, so there's no air inside. If you take this for wartime, it can last at least a month in this weather without spoiling. This is great. Marcus was indeed tempted. He grabbed another handful of small packages of dried tofu and various flavors of peas. After Marcus tried everything on the entire shelf of small snacks, he had them all packed up to be paid for. I was almost too embarrassed to keep promoting them myself. It's no big deal. Just pay what you think is fair. But Marcus misunderstood my meaning. Could he be so infatuated with my appearance today that he's lost his composure? It's not right of me to seduce men with my looks. If I cannot stay true to my principles, then I must not take advantage of you. Marcus thought for a moment and gave me 10 gold ingots. Is this enough? It's plenty. Take care, take care. Come again next time. As he walked out the back door, four soldiers stepped forward to take the plastic bags from Marcus. Dr. Zhu hurriedly reminded them. Let me test for poison first. I've already tasted everything in the shop. My mouth is already watering, and they won't even let me test it? Tonight, the army will celebrate their great victory in Yong Province City. Only 100 men need to stay here in Shima Town. Commander, there is no need to leave anyone in Shima Town. No matter where I am, I can always enter that mysterious shop. The entire army will move to Yong Province City. We will camp outside Yong Province City tonight. The entire army will move to Yong Province City. We will camp outside Yong Province City tonight. After night fell, the bonfires were lit, and the beef and mutton began to roast. Barrels of strong liquor were also brought out. After arranging the shifts, the remaining soldiers were given 2 tails of strong liquor each, and could eat as much beef and mutton as they wanted. At first, everyone was dissatisfied. At first, everyone was indignant, feeling the alcohol was too little. But who would have thought that after just 2 tails, nearly half the people were already drunk? Only then did everyone realize just how powerful this liquor actually was. Marcus sat among the crowd, enjoying the crispy beans. In front of him were small packs of crispy beans he had just bought today. It's a pleasure to chat while eating these crispy beans. The little dried fish, they had eaten crispy beans before, but they had never had such delicious, oily, and spicy dried fish. Note, this line repeats the sentiment of 573. The peas, they had eaten peas before, but they had never had these crispy peas. Note, this line repeats the sentiment of 576. There were even some things they had never even seen before. These snacks were such great accompaniments to alcohol. They couldn't stop. They simply couldn't stop. You haven't eaten these things before. It might make your stomachs upset if they don't agree with you. Earthy/crude. Marcus was worried they might get an upset stomach, but the secret sense of superiority from being the first to try them made the corners of Marcus's mouth curl upward. Note, this line repeats the sentiment of 586. After I saw Marcus off, I realized I hadn't even eaten lunch yet. I originally planned to eat after finishing business, but who knew Marcus would act so random today and keep the conversation going that long? But since I made so much money, I forgave Marcus instantly. After putting the gold ingots into the safe, I called the distillery owner 7 more times, asking him to help order 1,000 plastic buckets, 10 kilograms each. I told him I needed them as soon as possible. The owner agreed immediately. The plastic buckets arrived early the next morning. I efficiently had them moved into the warehouse. I settled the bill with the owner. The Universal Convenience Store was now open for business. Just as we opened, Marcus walked in. I was stunned. Have you been waiting long? I followed the method you told me and entered the mist. I just stood there waiting. How long did you wait? Marcus didn't want to dwell on this matter any longer. He changed the subject directly. However, Marcus didn't just pay and leave. He pointed at the empty snack shelves. The soldiers all think this is delicious. Marcus's gaze then fell on those green packages. What else is good? I love doing this. M3.5. This is called dried squid strips. Net weight 20 g. This is also dried squid strips. It's made from a type of fish in the sea. Some people aren't used to it and find it fishy, but some people absolutely love it. Try some. 5.99. This is Lilium. 5.99. It's similar to the candied fruit in your place. Try these. These are biscuits, cakes, and pastries. These are all biscuits and cakes. There are various flavors. You should try them too. Marcus follows advice 399. Marcus took the advice. Try everything 399. Minus 399. Aside from these squid strips, watching 2 more shelves being emptied, Marcus was still not satisfied. I'll get you some things you haven't tried before later. You can pick your favorites. As the top VIP of our convenience store. 5. Marcus was as well behaved as a baby. He proactively changed the subject. What are your plans next? I don't know yet. If you leave Yong Province City, where will you go? I might return to the capital. Both my father and I think. The imperial court will likely have my father stay here to continue leading the army. Then won't you be unable to continue leading troops? And won't the supplies for the 10,000 men of the Marcus army no longer be sourced from me? I'll try to purchase as much as I can from you that can be used by the Marcus army. I immediately became full of energy. What else does the Marcus army need? He used a small flatbed trolley to pull in a box. The box was opened. Inside was a box of neatly arranged gold ingots. Marcus pointed to the gold ingots in the box. There is 5,000 taels of gold here. Once the imperial officials arrive, there won't be anything left of the Luo army. At least we can get some things from her. I froze. Even if these were melted into a lump and sold by weight, they would be worth 100 million. What if each gold ingot is worth 800,000? Food, clothing, housing, and transportation. I need to get more of those. These things don't take up much space. If possible, it would be best if they don't spoil over time. I nodded. Clothes and shoes will be easy. One set is 90 yuan. I'll order 10,000 sets directly. Shoes are 20 yuan per pair. Time was tight. Marcus saw me writing and drawing with a pen, mumbling to myself, and thought I was incredibly capable. He couldn't help but stare in awe. Marcus took the items and prepared to leave. Before stepping out, he asked, "Is this gold enough to cover all your orders, with some left over?" Marcus gave me a deep look. This girl dresses strangely, but her heart isn't bad. She clearly could have asked for more money. Yet she chose to give it up. Even though she clearly loves money, she is a person of principle. She is trustworthy. As soon as Marcus left, I closed the back door, preparing to put the extra gold ingots into the upstairs safe. A funny situation occurred. I've become someone with so much money I have nowhere to hide it, so I went straight to the pawn shop, sold 4 tin-tail gold ingots, and received 3.2 million instantly. Having achieved my goal, I prepared to head out. Clothes, shoes, and compressed biscuits won't all arrive on the same day. After I placed my online orders, the delivery person said they would arrive tomorrow. When I got home, the instant noodles and snacks I ordered had arrived. The Universal Convenience Store is open. Just as the back door had opened, Marcus walked in. "General Marcus, have you been waiting long?" How long he waited was just checking from time to time if he could get in, to see if the owner of this mysterious shop would run away with the money. After handing over all that gold, Marcus thought about my way of doing things. The Deputy General gave Marcus a sympathetic look, not daring to voice his doubts again. For the rest of the day, whenever he had time, Marcus would try to enter the convenience store. He couldn't tell if he was worried the Deputy General's words would come true, or if he wanted to prove him wrong. Fortunately, after half the day passed, he came in again. I pointed at the newly delivered goods. "All those instant noodles and snacks I told you about have arrived. Take a look. Try everything you haven't had before. Bring me more of this next time." -59. An image of Zhang Fei eating lollipops instantly popped into my head. Swallowed a mouthful of saliva. 5.90, and also this, cola. They had never eaten these before. They are both fragrant and sweet. I nodded with difficulty. Technology changes lives. Technology changes the snack preferences of ancient soldiers. I ordered clothes, shoes, large pots, and more. 20 yuan, and the delivery will arrive by tomorrow afternoon at the latest. You can just come pick up the first batch tomorrow afternoon. Marcus agreed, but he wouldn't leave. I saw him looking around, but he just wouldn't leave. So, I started introducing him to all the different foods in the store that he hadn't tasted yet. I also introduced him to various foods in the shop that he hadn't tasted before. If the various drinks opened Marcus's eyes, the different flavors of ice cream made Marcus's eyes widen. "What is this?" "Of course this is. What about meals? And how can we get electricity?" "Young man, generating electricity is possible, but it's not suitable for you to use right now." Marcus understood instantly. The Luo army, led by him and his father, was already viewed with suspicion. If they produced something this heaven-defying, who knew what His Majesty would think? Marcus bowed sincerely. "You are very thoughtful, young lady. I am also doing this for my own sake. If something happens to you..." Marcus burst out laughing at my words. "You are the first person to call me reckless." In the end, Marcus took a box of ice cream in the phone box I provided and left. I wanted the soldiers to experience the joy of eating ice in the peak of summer. As expected, the moment the Luo army officers tasted the ice cream, their eyes widened. In this desert-covered Yong province city, they could actually eat ice? And such delicious ice at that? Near noon, I received my first delivery call. The clothes, shoes, and hats had arrived. The all-purpose convenience store was open once again. Marcus entered quickly, seeing the 2 carts overflowing with clothes and hats. Marcus was shocked. Just how powerful is this era? To have managed to get enough clothes and hats for 10,000 people in just one day? Take them away quickly. There are also shoes and compressed biscuits. You might need 2 or 3 more trips to pick everything up. That's when Marcus started working quickly. Fortunately, he had many soldiers to help unload the goods. The efficiency was extremely high. By the time they finished, it was almost dark. Marcus was drenched in sweat from the exhaustion. I didn't feel like moving either. Seeing how exhausted Marcus looked, Marcus was somewhat surprised. "Can you even eat here?" "That's easy. I'll make sure you're full. I just heated up 2 boxes of self-heating rice. Yuxiang shredded pork rice, beef with bamboo shoots rice, twice-cooked pork rice, and Taiwanese braised pork rice." Estimating that Marcus had a large appetite, I prepared 4 portions of braised pork and curry meat. Marcus watched as I poured cold water directly into the boxes, then dropped a small packet inside. Before long, hot steam began to rise from them. After a short while, I opened the boxes. A steaming, fragrant meal was actually ready, freshly heated. I happily pushed 1 portion toward him. Marcus hesitantly took a bite. The next second, Marcus's eyes widened. He looked at me and couldn't hold back. He just couldn't hold back. It wasn't until he finished and looked up that he realized I had only eaten a few bites of my meat. I pointed to the other 2 portions. "They were all prepared for you." Marcus didn't stand on ceremony. He devoured the other 2 portions like a whirlwind. After the 2 of us finished eating, "Why does this heat up just by adding cold water? Have you ever seen lime being poured into water?" Why does this self-heating rice cook so quickly? It was already cooked. It just heats up quickly. I don't think this dish looks dehydrated. What exactly are preservatives? Marcus's questions kept coming. One after another, I did my best to answer them. If you can't answer, look it up online. By the time I snapped back to reality, it was very late. Do you need anything else? Come back tomorrow. He said he was leaving, but his eyes were wandering everywhere. Clearly, he wasn't ready to go. Seeing the shelves refilled, Marcus chose to clear them out again, along with the self-heating rice. He packed up and took everything with him. How much for all this? If it's not enough. I nodded. This was a business built on mutual trust. It was truly a wonderful feeling. The next day, I didn't see any sign of Marcus all day. It wasn't until nightfall that Marcus crept in sneakily. He was wearing a gray short-sleeved outfit today. What does this look today? I slipped out of the camp quietly. I couldn't let him know I was there. The imperial envoy came to Yong Province City today to announce the decree. It's decided. Just as I suspected. I'm afraid the Luo army will face danger in the future. I'd like to ask, miss, how could I have thought of anything else in my haste? Looking around everywhere, my eyes suddenly fell on the step ladder in the corner. It looks like an aluminum alloy fire escape. Wait, let me go out for a moment. If I can get it for you overnight. First, I searched for nearby fire safety supply companies on the map. Then, I called the number they left. Before long, I found a shop that sells fire escapes. I drove there immediately, bought a fire escape. I also bought climbing hooks, climbing gear that fits on your feet, a small umbrella for anglers, and so on. This is lightweight and sturdy. Why is it so light despite being so long? This hook design is clever, yet the strength and hardness are so high. This is lightweight and practical. With these things, you don't need to be polite. From now on, whenever you need anything, I will do my absolute best to help. You can take all these foods, even the gummy candies. Let the soldiers try the gummy candies too. Gummy candies. Marcus went back out. Gummy. Thank you for your generosity, young lady. I also need a favor from you. I'll give you the best from my latest loot. I'll deliver it early tomorrow morning. Early the next morning, I opened the back door. Marcus arrived just as quickly as expected. He placed 2 porcelain jars from his arms onto the counter. The best from this latest loot. Seeing Marcus go out again, Marcus went back out. Before long, my table was covered with various bottles and jars. What surprised me was that there were even several rolls of fabric and some new clothes. These clothes are brand new. And inside this box is a set of jade pendants. I looked at the box of various jade ornaments. The fabric's as thin as a cicada's wing, and the exquisitely embroidered clothes. I suppressed my shock and nodded. Thank you. Why say thank you? Some of these jars aren't even good enough for an imperial envoy. Since you can use them, they might just end up being used to pickle vegetables in a military camp. I didn't dare to disappear without warning. But on the 8th day, I suddenly heard the electronic welcome notification chime. I looked up in shock, only to find a face right in front of me. It was Marcus. He had come in. Marcus looked as if he had been drinking. His cheeks were slightly flushed, and he had a smile on his face. My eyes widened, and I took a step back. We haven't reached the capital yet. We won't arrive the day after tomorrow. The local prefect hosted a banquet today. They all got drunk. I pretended to be drunk and went back to my courtyard. At this moment, Marcus saw the leftovers on the table. Haven't you eaten yet? I felt a bit awkward. This is just what's left over. Marcus suddenly said. General Marcus looked at the remaining 2/3 of the garlic prawns, as well as the matsutake mushroom chicken and greens, with eyes full of longing. I struggled internally. This is my leftover food. I've never had this before. Split them in half, stir-fry with garlic until fragrant, and steam them. That's exactly how it is. Is it good? 5. Since my distinguished VIP guest insists on eating my leftovers, I'll just microwave them and serve them up. Marcus was eating voraciously. He didn't look like someone who had just eaten a feast. It was like he hadn't eaten in 3 days. No need. Without alcohol, Marcus was very well behaved. He only took a few sips of honey pomelo tea. Has your journey been smooth these past few days? Marcus's eyes suddenly reddened with a hint of grievance. I just missed you a little. Thank you, miss. You are my VIP customer. It's the least I can do. I want to eat this again tomorrow. Come and eat it then. Marcus looked at me with sparkling eyes. I felt embarrassed by his gaze and was about to look away. But then I suddenly saw a red rash appearing on Marcus's neck. I froze for a moment, thinking I had misseen it. Marcus reached up to touch it. He was about to scratch, but I broke out in a cold sweat from fear. Could Marcus be allergic to seafood? Don't scratch. Did I just accidentally poison my most important VIP? This would ruin my business. My father used to trade pork for fish with the neighbor fisherman. In just a few short words, rashes began appearing on Marcus's face as well. Don't scratch. Marcus obediently agreed. Fine, I'll run out as soon as I open the warehouse. I dashed off to buy allergy medicine. Get allergy medicine quickly. If it gets serious, get to a hospital immediately. I know about the suffocating eye plague tablets. I ran home with the medicine. When I saw Marcus again, his face and neck were covered in red rashes. But he was truly well behaved. I told him not to scratch, and he really refrained from scratching. He kept his hands balled up into two heavy fists. Quick, take the medicine. Hurry and take it. Panting, I took out a bottle of mineral water and opened it for him. I helped him swallow the medicine. After he took it, I waited patiently for the medicine to kick in. At the same time, I was worried the alcohol he drank might interfere with the effect. Drink more water. Marcus obediently downed the entire bottle in one go. After drinking, his voice had become somewhat raspy. My own throat was extremely dry too. My source of income was about to be cut off. I stared anxiously at Marcus's face and neck. My tension and concern made the corners of Marcus's mouth curl slightly. I'm fine. I feel much better now. It's not as itchy. It's not that itchy anymore. I feel much better. I'm just a bit sleepy. Selling medicine, part 7. Marcus forced himself to stand up. Can you make it back like this? If not, you can rest here. Marcus's eyes involuntarily drifted toward the upstairs. If I don't go back, it won't be good for the Luo army. I am with them right now. It's inconvenient to carry this medicine. I'll find a chance to come back tomorrow. I watched him leave through the back door with worry. After thinking about it, I just left the back door unlocked. It's a dead end anyway, so no one can get in. I went to sleep with a heavy heart. However, Marcus slept straight through until late the next morning. It wasn't until the door was pushed open that Marcus startled awake. Who is it? I thought something happened to you. I've been knocking for ages, but you wouldn't open up. I didn't realize you just overslept from drinking too much. My apologies, Lord Hu. I had a bit too much to drink last night. I'll get washed and come out right away. A short while later. Lord Hu, let's go. After waking up, I noticed Marcus hadn't appeared. I felt very uneasy. I was anxious, wondering if that medicine actually worked. Whether my VIP customer had recovered or had died. I was filled with anxiety, yet there was nothing I could do. By 3 or 4 in the afternoon, Marcus still hadn't appeared. I was restless. When dinner time arrived, I didn't feel like ordering takeout. I heated up the leftovers from breakfast and lunch and ate them. After finishing, I felt something was wrong. I promised Marcus some food yesterday. If he comes, I'll order 7 portions of steamed sticky rice with ribs and 1 portion of stir-fried beef. The delivery arrived, but Marcus hasn't shown up yet. Feeling restless, I simply closed the front door. It was 9 p.m. Suddenly, I stood up and looked toward the back door. He's coming. He's coming. He's not dead? I let out a huge sigh of relief. Marcus looked at the takeout box in front of me with surprise. You haven't eaten yet? Speaking of which, I gave him an annoyed glare. Thanks to you. But I don't understand why I'm suddenly unhappy. Steamed sticky rice with ribs is all in one steamer. The stir-fried yellow beef looks oily and very tempting. I don't dare order seafood for you today. Eat this instead. Marcus agreed and began to feast. I took the opportunity to observe him closely. The rashes on his face and neck had mostly disappeared. Only the most severe spots still have some traces. Marcus's cheeks were bulging from eating. Being stared at by me, he realized what I was worried about. The rash has improved. It's not very itchy. I told them the alcohol we drank last night was bad. I broke out in a rash. They called a doctor. They didn't dare give me alcohol today. I nodded, finally feeling relieved. Seeing me stay silent, Marcus quickly finished all the food. Hearing this, a hint of hesitation appeared in Marcus's eyes. Tomorrow, he will enter the capital and meet the emperor. But he doesn't know what the situation will be with his majesty. He didn't dare say he would definitely come tomorrow. Marcus stared at the various foods filling the shelves. He could only wait until next time. Then tomorrow, I'll bring some snacks that are available where you are. Outsiders won't notice any difference. But the taste will be different. That's great. Then I'm leaving. Get some rest early. I nodded and specifically mentioned that I won't lock the back door. I won't lock it at night either. Anyway, except for you. If I'm not here at night. If there is something you want, but it's not here, you can leave a message at the counter. He met my bright smile. Marcus felt a surge of emotion. My father and I have fought in many wars for Great Liang. Yet the emperor has given us no rewards. And even left my old father at the border. But this strange girl, who is clearly just a business partner, has given me such trust. Thank you, miss. You're welcome. Once I was sure Marcus was safe, I slept soundly without any worries. When I woke up the next morning, I found no message left. Clearly, Marcus didn't come by last night. I wasn't disappointed. I tidied up and continued running my shop. In the evening, I went out for a stroll out of boredom. I wondered if I should order delivery for Marcus. Although he said yesterday that he might not come tonight. What if he does? Eating with the emperor. He might not be able to eat freely. I happened to pass by a trendy pastry shop. I bought a bag full of various cakes, puffs, and sandwiches. Even if he doesn't come today, he can eat them tomorrow or the day after. After all that, I returned to the convenience store near 10. I opened the door and turned on the lights. My pupils suddenly dilated. I clamped my hand over my mouth. Someone was lying there, covered in blood. Someone was lying by the back door, covered in blood. It was Marcus. I rushed over to check on him. Marcus was still conscious. His voice was very weak when he saw me rushing over. Is there any more hemostatic powder left? I have some at my place. I panicked and rushed out of the house. Then, running back to the convenience store with the medicine, I grabbed the scissors from the counter. With trembling hands, I cut open his robes. I sprinkled the powder on the wound and applied the stitchless wound adhesive. Once the wound on his front was treated, I struggled to flip Marcus over. There was a wound on his back too. At some point, Marcus's eyes had glazed over, and he had lost consciousness. After finally finishing the medical treatment, I sat on the floor next to him, panting heavily. Once I caught my breath, I gritted my teeth and went upstairs to grab 2 more blankets. I spread one blanket underneath him, laid him on it, and covered him with the other, thinking that would be enough. Marcus opened his eyes blearily. He weakly cooperated as I turned him over. Now that he was on the blanket, I used the bottled water and the anti-inflammatory medicine. I gave him the medicine and some water to drink. Holding his head, I helped him swallow the anti-inflammatory medicine. After everything was done, it was almost midnight. After finishing everything, it was nearly midnight. I turned around and went upstairs to get a quilt. I was going to sleep on the floor next to Marcus. Marcus was heavily injured. I didn't want him dying here in the middle of the night. After all, he is the only customer of my omnipotent convenience store. In the middle of the night, Marcus started tossing and turning. First, he was writhing like a caterpillar. Then, he started talking nonsense. At first, he was shouting, "Dad, please leave." What's this? Difference between parents and children? One tells him to leave, and the other won't. I was exhausted from wiping him with alcohol, monitoring his temperature, and giving him fever medicine. Finally, when dawn arrived, his fever subsided. I was also exhausted. When I finally woke up and opened my eyes, I let out a short gasp. Once I realized this was my benefactor, Marcus, I quickly covered my mouth and sat up. Marcus was lying on his side. I couldn't tell if it was from the fever or embarrassment. I used scissors and ruined it. You did this? If not me, then who? Could I have gone outside to find a doctor for you? I didn't mean to blame you. Then what do you mean? Marcus gritted his teeth. Miss, you saved my life. I scrambled to my feet. Hey, don't try to scam me. I only saved you. You're just a dog on the side of the road. If I saw a dog this injured, I'd save it too. Uft. What nonsense is this? If it's to save a life, it doesn't matter what it looks like. No one would take it personally. At most, you'd just give a small gift to show thanks, and that's it. My hint is practically a direct statement now. You should get it by now, right? Big brother, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Please listen to the last sentence. Of course, you're the only one I've ever saved. Marcus's expression softened a bit. He stopped obsessing over me marrying him and started focusing on another issue. Yes, I'll go get it for you. I first grabbed a pack of men's underwear from the shelf, opened it, and handed it to him. You should be able to wear these. This is all 500 pieces for wearing here. Seeing that Marcus still looked confused, I pointed to the place where we were staying. Marcus's face turned red again. He hurriedly took them and tucked them into his blanket to change. I felt awkward too. Change first. I'll go find you a shirt and pants. After my dad passed away last year, I burned almost all of my clothes. Only one set left as a memento. I went upstairs to find it and bring it to Marcus. It's too short for Marcus. It looks terrible. Wait a moment. I'll go buy you something. Marcus nodded obediently and covered himself with the blanket. Xiaoyao's short sleeves and shorts aren't expensive. A set only costs about 10 yuan. I'll get 2 sets. After thinking about it, I also bought some vegetables and meat. It's best not to leave the province for a few days. It's best not to go out at all these days. Focusing on serving my benefactor is more important than anything. Here are the new clothes I bought for you. Try them on to see if they fit, and pair them with this. It'll make walking easier. Change your clothes here. Marcus agreed obediently. He watched me go to the kitchen to cook. Marcus eats a lot. I cooked a huge pot of rice. I made bean sprout pork stir-fry and pig blood soup. Marcus was already sitting at the table. I looked at his neatly buttoned shirt and advised, "You still have injuries." Marcus looked down at his clothes. "All right." I called him to eat. Seeing his pale lips and slow movements while eating, I sighed. "Your injuries will take at least a few more days to heal. Didn't you say you were going to the palace to see the emperor?" I looked at him in surprise. "How did you know that?" Marcus analyzed slowly while eating. "After all, since I died, the emperor probably wants my father to rebel the most." As Marcus explained, "Then how do you plan to go?" "Now. But you're still covered in fake wounds. Are you okay?" "I assume His Majesty will send people to protect me." I could only nod, but then Marcus seemed to remember something. "The emperor rewarded me with a pair of jade ruby and 500 taels of gold. I'll bring them all to you in a couple of days." "Didn't you say you wanted to use money or gifts to show your gratitude?" A smile played at the corners of Marcus's eyes as he spoke. I felt a rare moment of embarrassment. So he had understood everything all along. Back then, the emperor had said, "By taking my jade ruby, you now belong to me." I had known nothing about this. After I changed his bandages, "This shouldn't be seen by others. It's fine. Eat some more to regain your strength." Marcus obediently agreed. This guy's obedience is all an act. He's only well-behaved when he wants something. If he doesn't want something, he won't hesitate to refuse. Marcus's eyes drifted toward the snack shelf. Now that he's eaten them all before, He knows exactly which ones are the best. Just thinking about the taste made him salivate. Refusing is out of the question. You can't eat these lately. Take whatever you want. With my injuries, I probably won't be able to come back for a few days. Just come whenever you can. Marcus started acting innocent again. I was speechless but didn't call him out. This outfit isn't suitable for going out. Are there any other clothes? Wait here for me. I'll go buy you something. I found a cosplay clothing store on the map. When I went to check it out, there were indeed many nice clothes, but they were incredibly expensive. A single set cost several thousand yuan. With all those wounds, they would eventually get dirty anyway. What a waste. In the end, I chose a set of servants' short clothes. It cost 180 yuan. By the time I returned to the shop, it was almost noon. I told Marcus to change his clothes. I went to cook for myself. For lunch, I made tomato stir-fried minced beef. I made it easy for Marcus to eat with rice. After eating and drinking his fill, Marcus took his leave. I'll be heading off now. Marcus walked slowly out of the alley, looking at the streets where the fierce battle took place last night. The corpses had already been cleared away. The bloodstains had also been washed clean. The shopkeepers on both sides of the street looked at the man standing under the scorching sun with confusion. Isn't he afraid of the heat? Then, in the next second, the man collapsed on the spot. Blood slowly seeped out. Someone help. Another death. Over the next few days, I continued to run my shop, but I couldn't help but stare at the back door. The electronic welcome sound never rang again. The warehouse was piled high with compressed biscuits, medicine, and snacks. All of it was prepared by me, all prepared for him. But the person who came to pick up the goods had vanished without a trace. I even tried chanting Universal Convenience Store toward the back door, hoping to see if I could travel to his world. But I got nothing but disappointment. On the 7th night, just as I was preparing to close up, that familiar electronic voice finally rang out. I looked up abruptly. Marcus was standing at the back door. He looked at me with a smile, just like before. I came to get some anti-inflammatory medicine. And also, I wanted to try your cooking. You actually showed up? I thought you died out there. Are you here for my gold ingots? I cursed him, but my feet were already walking toward the kitchen. There is only ribs for the dish. Eat it or don't. That night, after I fainted, I was sent back to the marshal's mansion. The second prince's assassination attempt failed. The emperor believed it. My father presented evidence of the second prince's subordinate's attempt. Although the emperor didn't punish him, he grew wary of him. My situation became temporarily safe. Although the emperor was wary of the Luo army, he granted me a title of a liege lord. I didn't have to attend court or join the army. It seemed peaceful, but it was actually a way to keep me confined to the capital. It doesn't matter what title the emperor gives you, or whether you can lead troops, as long as I can come to you. From then on, Marcus became a regular at my convenience store at night. He would sneak out late at night, avoiding the surveillance of the Imperial Guard. Sometimes he came to pick up medicine. Sometimes they come to eat the food I make. And sometimes just to sit at the counter and watch me count money. Listening to my stories about the modern world, he would bring me things from Great Liang, silk from Jiangnan, porcelain from Guankiln, and even wild game he hunted himself. 6 months passed like this. The situation in Great Liang changed. The prince, unyielding in his ambitions, conspired with foreign enemies. He planned to launch a coup in the capital, while Luo Zhonghai was fighting at the border. After Marcus received the news, he came to the convenience store overnight. Seeing him in full armor with a solemn expression, I knew he was going to suppress the rebellion. As the top VP of this convenience store, I couldn't just let him go. You better come back alive. I prepared a set of modern stat-proof armor for him to wear under his armor. This thing can block blades and arrows. Looking at me with reddened eyes, Marcus leaned down and hugged me. Wait for my return. After he left, I watched the convenience store's back door every day. Money no longer mattered to me. I only hoped he would return safely. Late at night on the 10th day, the electronic welcome sound rang out again. Marcus pushed the door open, covered in blood, but smiling. I'm back. The second prince's coup was easily suppressed by Marcus, relying on the modern supplies I gave him. He caught the second prince completely off guard. Upon hearing this, Emperor Luo was both shocked and delighted. He finally let go of his fear of the Luo family. No longer fearing the Luo family, he issued an imperial decree for Marcus to return to the army. Note, this line is a repetitive error in the source text. To assist Luo Zhonghai in guarding the border. From then on, the Universal Convenience Store became the most special supply station at the Great Liang border. With the modern supplies, Marcus's Luo army defended the Great Liang border like an iron fortress. Foreign enemies no longer dared to invade. Marcus became the god of war of Great Liang, and I became the highly respected shopkeeper of Great Liang.